Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 8:36 in the morning and about 35 degrees outside right now. A little chilly. Make sure you bundle up. And now let's. We're having in the studio some of the prime movers of a film called Daddy's Girls that was made actually in New Hampshire. It was all shot in New Hampshire?
Pretty much. Just one shot in Maine, but everything else was New Hampshire.
Okay, including the White Mountains. They were in the White Mountains. They were in Merrimack. And it's going to be shown in Merrimack on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Cinemagic Theaters. Costs you $10 to get in. I'm sure they'll have the popcorn machines running. And it's a film that has just won the Best Feature Drama at the New York International Film Festival, which is no small accomplishment. Dennis King is the man that put it all together. We have some of his actresses here as well. We're just talking to Angela Barabee. Now let's talk to Kendra Lemoyne and Sophie Carpenter, both of whom played a character called Becky. And so just pull the microphone over to you, and let's start with Kendra a little bit. Kendra, tell us, you go to school in Merrimack?
Yeah, I do. I go to Merrimack Middle School.
Merrimack Middle School. Now, had you been in plays before?
Oh, yeah. I got involved in acting when I was 8, and I've been in plays as much as I can since.
Okay. Have you ever been in Annie?
No, I haven't been in the play Annie.
Okay. All right. Now, you play Becky when she's how old?
12.
And she's the girl that kind of gets adopted by Sean or something?
Yeah, she doesn't truly get adopted till she is at 16 or 21. But she, is best friends with Sarah, and they start acting like sisters, and they're just...
And she's in a bad place in where she lives, in her family?
She's neglected. When she goes home, her father and her mother neglect her, and as she gets older, they start beating her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, in that character, you had to show some emotion that maybe Angela didn't have to show us Sarah, because Sarah had a loving father there raising her, right?
Yeah, she was always just peppy, but Becky always kind of a dark, sad, gloomy feeling, but except for when she's around Sarah, she always feels more safe and happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so how did that go for you? Did it take you a while to get the feel of the character, or...?
When I read the script, I kind of felt really bad for Becky, and I kind of had to snap back to reality, think, okay, she's not a real character, but the script was so much in detail that it was easy to feel as sad as she did. So,
it was?
Yeah, it's a very nice story. That's why it was so easy to get into character.
Okay, all right. So, now, how did it feel to watch Sophie do your part when you watched her? Because she was playing the same character only after what age? 16, 18?
She played 16 and 21. And as Becky gets older, she starts getting more and more sad because her father starts beating her and neglecting her even more. So she played kind of even a darker and more sad side, so it was really different.
How did they have to make you two look like sisters? I mean, you do look a little bit like sisters, actually. I can see that. So, I mean, did you have to wear? What did they do makeup wise or costume wise to make you look like the same person?
I didn't have to wear any makeup on screen, but I dressed my regular clothes. I don't know about her, but I don't know. We didn't really have to do anything like dye hair or anything.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, Dennis, you want to comment on that?
Well, part of that was selecting the right. As you can see, they do favor each other.
Yes.
The other thing is that we did, as part of that, we were talking about getting together and having the cast to get to know each other. We did have well, Sophie, why don't you go take Kendra out and go have go out for pizza or something like that. There's also a dance in the movie, which is a very forlorn, lost innocence dance. It's kind of I don't want to get too into it because I want people to see the movie, but it's very, very nice. But they had to go to Broadway Bound. Jen DeFelice, who owns the Broadway Bound, was very helpful in letting us use the studio. And they were practicing this what we call the Becky dance, which has done some very pretty music. And it's just kind of a symbolism of the lost innocence. And the sad reality is, and as I've come to learn, as people have approached me on this movie, that it's really touched a lot of hearts. Unfortunately, in the world we live in, there's a lot of Beckys out there who are going through this, and there are very telltale signs. And with Kendra and with Sophie, they were able to bring out those signs that people will recognize, and maybe other people who aren't familiar with children who are abused, might be able to see the movie and recognize some of the signs that are very clear to anybody who's lived through it. And they did a wonderful job. I'm really can't tell you how excited I am to see the performances they gave on the screen.
Okay, all right, great. No, I think this is terrific. And let's talk to Sophie now. Sophie Carpenter plays Becky when she's older, and Sophie just flew back from What, you're going to be a recording star? Tell us about that first before we get into the back to the movie. What, you just came back from New York? You had to go there twice over the weekend?
Yeah, I went to an audition, open call audition for Moonstar Management in New York, and I read a commercial for them, and I sang the first verse of my song, and they invited me to come back on the Sunday and sing in a showcase in front of the bigwigs in the industry.
Wow. Well, so you could become recording. Now you said you tried out for American Idol twice, but you never got to see Simon and have him make fun of you, right? Or
no, never got that far.
Never got that far. You're brave to do that. Where did you try out for American Idol?
The first year I tried out in Cleveland, Ohio. With my mom came with me both times, and that was quite an adventure because we camped out on the street in front of the stadium and everything. And then the second time around, we went to New Jersey, and we did that a little better. We stayed in a hotel, and then we went over in the morning.
Wow. Now, how long have you been doing theater and music?
I've been singing, since 3rd grade, like any proper singer would tell you, and started acting about 2 years ago. But I've always been in the school plays and, all through, elementary school, middle school, high school.
So you'd like to make a living at this if you could do it, right?
I would, yeah.
Now, tell us about playing the older Becky and how your character transitioned from the way Kendra played her to how you played her when you become at 18. Is that your first?
I played
or 16 and 21. Is that what it is? 16 and 21.
And then I grew into the 21. She becomes a bit more experimental with her character and her surroundings, and she starts going to parties and getting into trouble a little bit more than when Kendra was playing Becky. But I think she gets more troubled, and so she wants to lash out in different ways.
So she kind of takes what's been happening to her, and it creates, in a sense, a behavior that she normally wouldn't do, but she's kind of been pushed into by all the terrible things that being beaten, I guess.
Right.
Well, actually, as the typical what you see in abuse situations, the abuse escalates, and as the girl gets older, we see the abuse change over, and you see the changeover in the movie. We're not very graphic about it, but it's more stylized, but I think people get the idea of what's going on, and which is a tragedy that a lot of girls are facing, and we're trying to make that true. I think Sophie's performance is so riveting, and you see the heartbreak that these girls go through in her eyes, and I think that's really, if I could say anything, like that shot when we see her eyes and the look of terror in her eyes brings home exactly the feeling that countless girls must be feeling who are going through that type of process. And we tried to make that real for people. And that will bring out some other behaviors. If somebody's going through something like that, there are other things that, like you said, they won't act like they normally would act, that they start to act out, and people see that changes.
Do you have somebody play your father in the film? Do you ever see the father on film?
We see, actually it was Kendra's dad, but we only see his feet and a silhouette of him.
Oh, okay.
So he never really has an actual face.
Okay. Do you hear him? Is he screaming or?
No, you hear his footsteps as they come up the stairs.
And then you know what's about to happen.
Right.
So Sophie, you had to show more of a span of emotion. Is that correct? How hard was that to do?
That, I think, was the most difficult part of the entire movie, just trying to cry all the time. Because it's like every other scene, I'm sad and I'm crying, and it takes a toll on your summer, really, because you want to have fun, but then...
Did you have a good summer? No, I cried the entire summer in the movie. Well, how did you do that? How do you make yourself cry? Did you think of something sad, or did you put yourself so into the character that you could feel her sad? How did this work?
I tried all sorts of different things. I had the beeswax lip balm rubbed under my eyes to try and make my eyes sting in water. I had the...
Oh, wow. Is that right? You can do that, huh?
Yeah, well, it sort of worked. And then I tried thinking of something really sad, thinking of a sad part in some movie, and, every different kind of way I think I've tried.
Now, what was the most effective?
Probably the eye drops.
The eye drops over your eyes. Stop. Well, now, one thing about a movie, I guess, and Dennis mentioned doing this, one time he had to look terrified, and on stage, you'd have to, with your entire body language, look terrified. In a movie, he panned in on your eyes. Is that correct? So that is one thing you can do in a movie that you can't do in a stage show.
Right.
And the eyes can sometimes reflect emotion easier than your entire body. Although I guess when you're in a movie, are you thinking about what you're doing entirely, or did he say, I'm going to focus on your eyes? How did that work?
Well, if the shots on your eyes, you can concentrate more in that area and putting more emotion into them rather than trying to do it all at once with your whole body kind of thing.
Now, how are you in the movie? About a third of it, too?
I think I'm in 2/3 of it because I play two age range, so I'm in a lot of the movie.
A lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Because you have 18 and 21. Do you end
Right.
up? Is it you, who gets married at the end? Is that Sophie or
That's Sarah.
Sarah?
Sarah gets married.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Oh, so okay. So yes, we got Becky, and Sarah. So Sarah, you get year older. Sarah, who's Kristen at that point, gets married.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, Sophie, how did you? So there was also the relationship that has to evolve between the Beckys, and this would be Kendra's Becky, and then your Becky, and Sarah, right? Because that's, and also I guess a relationship with Dennis as the father,
Right.
here, Sean, correct?
Right. Well, like you said, we had get-togethers, we had parties, and so we spent a lot of time together, and also in the shoots we were always together. So we just kind of grew that way and became best friends, and it all just sort of worked out.
So it did. So that's how. Kendra, what about you? How did you? Your relationship with Sarah. Now, your relationship would have been Sarah when she was little, or Sarah when she was Natalie? I mean, did you relate to?
I played Becky, who was best friends with Angie.
Okay, so the little Sarah.
Yeah.
No offense, Angie, but you were the youngest Sarah, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then so then you actually, is this correct? Sophie, related to two different people?
Right. I had to relate with Natalie and Kristen.
Oh, okay. And but the chemistry was, did the relationship evolve some, or did you feel like you were the same way with each one of them?
I think I was the same way with each one of them. Of course, I did a lot more scenes with Kristen than with Natalie, but I think, I had a great time with both of them. They're both great girls.
That's something. So what did you think? Did you guys go to New York to see the film in the film festival?
Yes, we did.
You all did? You all
Yes.
did? You went too? Angela, so that's pretty interesting. So how was it to see yourself on screen?
For me personally, it's a bit awkward because, every actress hates watching herself. If you ask,
Is that right, do you think? Is
if you
that?
ask Johnny Depp, he doesn't go see any of his films because he hates watching himself, apparently.
Boy, my granddaughter likes to watch Johnny Depp, I can tell you that. He doesn't like to watch himself, huh?
Right? So for every actress, it's awkward to see your own work, but it was actually quite exciting to see it up there.
Huh. Now, how about you, Kendra? What did you think about seeing yourself there on the screen?
It was really weird because I had never been in a film, and the only time I've ever saw myself on TV was in home videos, and I don't really think that counts. But it was really awkward. I kind of felt a little embarrassed because there were a lot of things I wish I could have changed. Like, in some scenes, I'm like, oh, I wish I had done this instead of doing that. But overall, I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm on a TV screen.
Now, how about you, Angie? What did you think?
I think it was like strange because sitting there and like you're like, okay, we're gonna watch this great movie, and then like your face pops up and it's like, no, that can't be true.
That can't be me.
It can't be me.
Well, it might be really kind of fun to. I'm sure some of your friends that haven't seen this will get to see it Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you looking forward to that? Or are you thinking, oh, gee, I don't know if I want them to come see this?
I think I'm sort of excited, but then like once I think about it, I'll be like, oh, I don't really want them to see me doing some scenes, and some scenes I'm like, yeah, you're gonna really like them, and like other scenes it's like, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna really, no.
No, like
Don't see that scene.
Kendra, how do you feel about if your friends seeing this now?
Actually, I already sold some tickets to my friends, and they really want to see it, but I'm like, are you sure you want to see this? Because it's kind of embarrassing, because there are parts I'm kind of embarrassed about. Like I said before, like I wish I had done something else, but they really want to see it.
Now, is there a scene, a part of your performance you like best when you see it on the screen?
I kind of like the scene where Becky goes into her room and she's just kind of talking to herself, which is kind of weird, but she's talking about what happened in her day and how upset she is that her parents are ignoring her. And then she goes into this scene where she starts dancing in this like magic music box she has, and she like goes into this other world, and I thought that was a really sweet scene.
You like that?
Yeah, I
like that.
that.
Okay, now Sophie, what about you? What is there? How do you feel about friends seeing this, seeing you on film?
I'm a little nervous, but they all seem really excited to see it, especially my family. They're all really excited to see my face on the big screen. So I'm not going to stop them, but I'm sure I'll cower a little bit when I come on.
Now, when you saw the film, were there things you liked and didn't like. What did you like best, though? Is there a scene that you thought...
There's a whole montage actually of different clips that I love. Dennis did a really good job putting it together, and it fits. It's like about the relationship between Becky and Sarah and the father, and it just turned out great.
Okay. Now, you're somebody that is at the point in your life where you're 20.
Right.
You've just been in New York hoping to get this recording contract. And that's exciting. But now, you'd like to make a living at this. Is this film something you can use to get into auditions now?
I can definitely put it on my resume, and I can, once I get some of the footage, I can actually make a demo CD of my acting for agents, for managers, and whatnot.
And are you picking an agent or something? Is that how you... I don't know how you do this business. To get somewhere, do you need to have an agent?
It's basically, open casting calls until someone picks you up, and it's like right place at the right time.
Well, I've always thought that I see people sometimes in community theater. You're going to see a community theater play, and sometimes you see some incredible performances. And I think, now why is it that person is here at the community theater in whatever town it is, Merrimack or Concord or wherever it is, and somebody else is on Broadway, or somebody else is on a TV show, or somebody else is in a movie? Are they that much better than the person I see in the community theater? And I don't know what Dennis would say about this. I sometimes think, I'm not sure they're better, but they're ambitious enough to do what you have to do to get to this other level. Doesn't mean they're necessarily more talented. Is that true, Dennis?
Yeah, I think that's probably where it comes from, because I've run into incredible talent, but I think the thing that separates a lot of people, some of it is luck, being in the right place at the right time, and it's very much an industry like that.
Yeah.
But, when I hear overnight success, it's a lot of hard work. For instance, Sophie didn't mention, but, she was called in for the interview on Saturday, flew down, flew back, got a call back, and then to fly back Sunday,
Wow.
and then flew in last night, and then, she gets up bright and early for radio. That's the kind of commitment and drive you have to have in order to be successful. And I think that's, the difference between the people who are doing it because they like it and those who are doing it who really want to keep putting themselves out there to be an opportunity to meet people, going to the New York International Film Festival, meeting with the other directors, making contacts. It's just the luck comes from being in the right place, but the hard work puts you in the right place to be noticed.
You need some luck, but you also got to put in the effort.
Exactly, it's tremendous. And what I found working with these wonderful, talented people is going into this, I wasn't quite sure. I mean, like you hear all the show business, you think of somebody jumping up on the couch at Oprah or whatever, and
right.
you're like, maybe they're a little. It's not like that at all. I mean, going into theater arts is no different than somebody going to soccer camp or something like that. It's just a passion. It's a drive. The movie has been so much blessed by the parents and the wonderful talent of these young people. I just want to plug the website, SironaStudios.com, SIRONA Studios.com. If people want to buy tickets for Saturday's event, the showing at the Cinemagic at 10 o'clock, they can go on and hit the link to purchase the tickets, so they can purchase tickets online. And we're more than happy to do that. It's a great fundraiser for the Santa Fund in town, and I think it will do a lot of good.
Santa Fund in Merrimack. This movie, Daddy's Girls, is going to be at the Cinemagic. Kendra, you want to do this for a living? Because I asked Angie that. She does. Sophie's obviously already trying that. Would you like to do this to make a living?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to do that, but it's like a 1 in a million chance.
That's a long shot. You always have a backup plan. I always tell people that want to go into radio, know how to do something else, because, and radio's a lot easier to get into than being a movie star, that's for sure. So
you can't just throw everything away and go say, okay, I'm going to go try it for this and think that everything's going to work out, because if it doesn't, you need to fall back on something.
Yeah. My daughter went to New York City to become a dancer after college. She wanted to be a modern dancer, Martha Graham Studios, and she became a bartender. And now she's a social worker. So she got her master's. She's a social worker, does a lot of great things. But, I mean, it's a long shot, but it's worth pursuing. And you guys are great. So I wish you all the best. I mean, I think you're to be congratulated. Thanks for coming in. Sophie, thanks for coming back from New York just to talk to us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So that's great. So I wish you well. This performance is going to be Saturday morning at 10. You can see the movie Daddy's Girls. And for more information, you can go to Sirona Studios. But the movie is 10 o'clock at Cinemagic. You can get tickets in advance on the website. Is that what you're promoting? Right. But you can also just be there. And
you can get tickets. We'll have tickets at the door.
Okay. All right, so they get big theaters. That's the best place to watch a movie at Cinemagic. Just
Well, we've also,
great theater.
WMUR has put us in the rotation, so they're going to come out and actually cover the event.
Oh, that's neat.
So actually, that's another, if people want to, go see a movie and get on TV at the same time, that's another good reason to go see it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you girls will be interviewed on TV.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, absolutely. Well, then, Sophie, let us know if you become a recording star, will you, so we can have you back on. That'll be exciting.
All right.
But thanks for coming in. You guys were great, and really, hopefully I can get over there Saturday and see this movie. I think that sounds exciting, and it will be exciting. And Daddy's Girls is the name of this movie, done by Serona Studios. We've had with us Dennis King, who's this is his baby, so to speak, and he plays the father in the movie. We've had Sarah, played by Angela Barabee, in the younger years, and then later played by two girls that weren't with us today, but they'll be in the film, Natalie and Kristen. We have Kendra Lemoyne, who plays Becky, and we've had Sophie Carpenter, who plays Becky. I play Woody on this radio show. Thanks for being with us today. We thank Art Coven, our producer. Thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Barabee for doing some driving here. Now you're up to Concord, right? All right, don't forget Jennifer Horn coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. See you tomorrow, folks, on WSMN 1590. Have a great day.
Woodland, 1590 WSMN. A presentation of Absolute Broadcasting, LLC.
Copyright 2006.